Welcome to Subramani. I'm talking to one family which has received a lot of money on the sale of a business, and one part of the family does not have anybody who has been able to manage it. Right? It's a big family. A lot of money has been received by each part of the family, at least about 1000 crores, and this part of the family does not have anybody who the head of the family was also not a finance person. He was a tech person, was dependent on his a parent or brother or somebody to manage the money, and he has died. And so the family, this portion he died about a year and a half back, and then the part of the business got sold and these people have got a lot of money. Now the question is, how should they handle it? Now, if you have a net worth of 100 crores, you've already done all the things which are required. You have a house, you have a spare house, you have paid for your children's education, your children have grown up. You've not really thought too much about how to manage yourself on a day-to-day basis. You assume the cars will be available, the drivers will be available, somebody would be paying their salary, somebody would be worried about, somebody would be handling the taxation, right? Also, this family got access to all that, but suddenly they are not going to get access to this because the whole thing is being dismantled. They have sold off. So the same accountant who was filing the tax returns is not going to be available. Of course, there's a chartered accountant who will file the returns, but how to give the data to the chartered accountant and all that, everything is going to be new for this part of the family. And we also know that we keep hearing that wealth is lost from one generation to other generation to the third generation. By the time it's the fourth generation, they have to work hard again, right? So we have heard all these stories, right? Like the Arab says, my grandfather or great grandfather rode a camel, then my father rode a car, and I ride limousines and private jets. My son will not have private jets, and my grandson will again be in a camel. So over 3 generations or 4 generation, money is lost, and then we have a real estate, we have an estate planning process by which money is inherited, but it does not mean the infrastructure is inherited, especially in such cases where it is being sold, and there is not great trust between the brothers. You don't know whom to turn, you don't know whom to ask, you don't know whether to continue with the same chartered accountants or change the chartered accountant, change the lawyer, right? So I think passing on the money to the next generation is a lot to do with financial literacy and very simple things. For example, when this family group was there, they would put a lot of money in index funds and ETFs, etc. Now that these individually, it has been split between 3 families, and one of them is the widow of one of the brothers. This part of the family doesn't know what to do. So I was chatting with their financial advisor, and they also have to now, let's put it this way, let's assume that they've got 1000 crores. Honestly, 1000 crores, if it is got by a 55-year-old woman with 2 married children, she doesn't have to do anything as long as she does not touch balls outside the off stump, as long as she's in 70% in an index fund and 30% in a debt fund, gilt fund maybe, or a dynamic bond fund or something like that, or get into as much as tax efficient as possible. You're ultimately going to pay some tax, right? On a 1000 crore portfolio, there is no way how you can stop at least 10 crores of income coming in, which again puts you in the highest slab. So some taxation, if that has to be done, it's not very difficult, but there is a problem. One of the sons-in-law that she has been doing some kind of a financial planning, etc. for people. So he has created an extremely complicated portfolio which has got REITs, it's got international funds, etc. And that's the kind of portfolio where they're going to invest. So when they asked for my opinion, I said, you don't need all this, right? You don't need to do such a complex thing. A simple thing will work because your lifestyle is that of a family with 100 crore net worth, because that's what you had. But the remaining 2,000-3,000 crores net worth which was there, which got sold, you got 1,000 crores out of that. That's fine, but there's no business now. So on your day-to-day expenses have to be met by this. But if you're 55, 56 years of age, maybe you've got another 20 years to go, right? So 20 years is 1000 crores enough for a 20 or for 20 years for this woman? More than sufficient. Are the children well off? Very well off. So can the children just buy one house and buy one car and use some money coming out of this for annual vacations? That's fine, that will still help them, but it does not always work like that, because then you want to be doing better than your cousin who is invested only in an index fund, and you think you can outperform. So what are the things that you should teach your children about managing money? I think first of all there has to be a school or college which runs a program on how inheritance should be managed, because let's even take a case where your family net worth was 30,000, 40,000 crores. Your portion you have got for selling of a part of the business is 1,000 crores. Understand that out of the total picture, only about 5% of that is encashed and given to you. The whole thing can be in a debt fund without worrying, because your business is equity. Right? So if you look at it that way, you don't have to worry too much about asset allocation, but it doesn't work out so simply, right? So I think some things which you can do is, first, don't talk of money, not talking about money at home. So get over the money taboo and talk about money. There's no problem. Say how much you earn, how much you keep, how much you give away to charity, why children should be involved, why a 12-year-old should go and see what the family charity business does, what the family business does. Keeping them informed is important. Women saying, I don't know, my husband does everything, is wrong, because you don't want your accountant or your personal financial advisor or somebody taking you for a ride. Young people with no preparation, very difficult to handle. Imagine a 21-year-old kid who has lost both parents suddenly wondering how to manage the money, right? Or even worse, was 17-year-old, which means somebody else is going to manage. There is a will, it is well documented, all that is true, but you don't have any management skills, so you need to be trained. I think it makes sense for somebody to have a training institute which will do this. Hey, it's a business interest for somebody like you, please do it. So money should not be taboo. You should talk about money. And you should also say that money has a purpose, right? Your legacy has got something to do more than with money. Look at people like Buffett saying, I don't want my children to do nothing, right? So the children will inherit something, but not everything, so that they will have to do something, right? So when somebody has so many billions, even if you inherit 1 billion, you need not do anything. But whatever you inherit, your children should know that this inheritance, how it should be handled. For example, I know one group where all the money which individual should get goes into a private limited company, where he, his wife and 2 children are shareholders, right? And the husband owns 51% and the 49% is held by the other 3 members of a family. This is also done so that one child does not lose everything to divorce or things like that. So it's a very complicated web that they've created, but then this family has 50,000-60,000 crores of net worth. So then for them it makes sense. It does not make sense for everybody. In that family, because you're born in that family, you obviously are a part of that private limited company which has a lot of assets, right? So that private limited company can buy a luxury car every year and things like that, whatever they want, but they cannot sell the family silver for doing these kind of things, which all 4 of them have to get together and do it. So they don't do it. They use the dividend to buy their luxury items for going on vacations, etc. So the family holding remains untouched, right? So something like that. So next is creating a mission statement makes sense if there's a lot of wealth, right? Anything above 500 crores, I would create a mission statement and say, okay, this is what we will do, this is how we will earn, this is the business in which we will invest, this is the business in which we will not invest, these are the 5 charities that we wish to support. That's enough. You don't require much more, because you say one for women, one for animals, one for old age, one for cleanliness, and one for environment, or whatever like that. You create and saying, these are the 5-6 NGOs we have selected, we will support them. Don't make it too complicated, because then people will lose interest in that. So, but make a mission statement, make it a crucial exercise to sit and make sure that the people understand what is your mission statement. your children, who are going to be future managers and future owners of these assets, have to be financially smart. You have to teach them value investing. You have to make sure that they understand what is value. They understand why prices change in different markets, and why it's perfectly good to search for bargains even if you have 1000 crores net worth. Start your kids maybe in 8th standard, 9th standard to provide financial training, whatever it means. So 5th standard, 6th standard, let them go. Maybe you support an NGO which does poor feeding, let them go and actually do poor feeding, right? So let them go and see how people who are poor live. So that kind of some financial training is something which is necessary. Put together a good team and make sure that you have a chartered accountant firm looking after your taxation, and that firm interacts with their whole family, all your 4 or 5 brothers, their children, everybody should know them. Make it like an annual event, saying this is the taxation guy who will come and speak, this is the financial planner who will come and speak, this is the fund manager who manages our money. You may or may not have a family wealth office or something like that, a family office for managing your wealth. You need not have. For 500 crores, 800 crores, you should not have. In fact, for 5,000 crores, 10,000 crores, yes, you should have. So creating this team, making the whole team won't disappear, right? So making sure that intra-family there is good connection. So your son is 8-year-old, but your brother's son is 14 years old. Let there be good friendship among them. Let the kids go on annual vacations together. Let them stay together for some time, right? So create good vibes between them. Create good vibes within the business. You associate your kids with that business. There is no reason why kids should not be associated with the taxation. One child can work with taxation, one child can work with the fund management team, one child can be working in the business. So creating that whole team, all these things when you do, and all of them have good values, then I think less money will be lost to friction, less money will be lost to lack of knowledge, and there will be good prosperity within your family, and money may not be lost in one generation. Thank you.